excited for this myself. I mean, it's the first ever inaugural annual Silicon Valley Comic Con. Everybody here, looks like you having a good time. You guys having a good time? This is a pretty rad event in itself. I see there are tons of Back to the Future fans in this room. That's a good start. We've got tons of stuff out on the show floor, even dedicated to Back to the Future. The author of Back to the Future, The Ultimate Visual History, Michael Clasterman, is here as well amongst you. Here he is right here. We've got check that out. There's tons of awesome stuff inside. The swag, you don't want to open that until 1985. So, shut up. Say that for 1985. So are you guys ready for tonight's panel? As a huge Back to the Future fan myself, this is an honor for me. If you don't know me, my name is Jose Sanchez. I host the show Electric Playground. Been doing that for 14 years now. Still nothing great here for you. Still young, still youthful, but not as young and youthful as the people I'm about to have come up on stage. First off, Lorraine Baines McFly, Lea Thompson. Just saying. And welcome back to the Future Beat without the Doc himself, Mr. Emmett Brown. And of course, here to help me generate 1.21 megawatts of power! Marty McFly himself!
This is exciting!
We have made it back to 2015, has passed, finally got there. The future is now 2016. Talking about Back to the Future still, after all these years. How excited are you guys that the passion and the energy for a franchise like Back to the Future still resonates 30 years after you came out?
It's crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's like back in 1985, kids saw death and grew up and had families, and families saw, I mean, it's a cycle that just keeps going on endlessly. It's amazing.
I think what's surprising about it is that young kids buy into it like their parents did. It's like a perennial. It's like Wizard of Oz or something. As a kid, I used to go to Wizard of Oz every year, once a year on TV, and I used to watch it. And it's like that. It's just a perennial.
My mother-in-law watches it with her daughter, her daughter's daughter, and her daughter. So 4 generations of Deutsch girls watch Back to the Future, which is like so cool, and they all get off and have a great time. So what could be better?
And was this something you guys felt was going to have that staying power? You were just making the first film. Did you feel like, hopefully we can do the second and third one if they make enough money for the first one, and eventually you'd be doing Silicon Valley Comic Con on stage with all these people super excited to talk to you guys?
Never thought of it. We didn't even have deals for sequels, right?
No.
No, there were no sequel deals. They didn't think that there would be another movie.
I just said, of course you think.
Hopefully night and have a bit of a run at least. It's still running.
I do. I was like sending lunches several times. So the family ties with Nathan back to the trip. So I was just going where they told me to go and had an array of surprise and excited faces that I made. Look, awestruck, number 32. So I didn't realize that there was genius around me. That's really what it was. I knew I was working hard and I was doing what I was asked to do, but I didn't realize the level of complexity until after we pushed with the script and it just said how powerful these themes were. It really resonated with people.
Were there any particular stories throughout any of the movies that sort of stand out as special moments for you guys that you like? You either knew like, yeah, people are going to really enjoy this, or just something that made you crack up laughing when you were shooting?
I remember the dinner scene with Crispin Glover. Remember when he was like, we couldn't, it was like 10:30 at night, and you were delirious, and I was in that makeup, and you couldn't laugh with that makeup, or it would break right here, and then everybody had to go home. So I was like this. And Crispin, who was insane.
He was insane, isn't he?
In a very good way.
He was so great. He was so great to work with, though. He was
He's a genius.
you never knew what he was going to do and how he was going to react. And his idiosyncrasies, like about his hair and about the way he moved, and it was really poetic in a way. Once you came to get over how weird it was.
When I watch the movie, I'm always struck by the styles of acting that were taking place. I mean, you know, Crispin had this kind of like almost like commedia dell'arte. He'd make these big gestures and stuff, and like
Sweep of indignation. It's a sweep of indignation.
yeah, it's sweep of indignation. And you did those all that falling down and like this double takes. Like no one could do that like you did. You were a genius. And then you had your incredible style where you're like, I don't know, it was a really interesting, you know, gathering of acting styles, don't you think?
Well, yeah.
And I was just horny in the middle of all.
One thing that Chris says, I mean, I always mention to people is in any film, especially science fiction film, there's a lot of exposition. There's a lot of explaining how this works in 88 miles per hour and blah, 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 and all these rules. And so you got to get them out there so the audience can understand them. And that's what Chris did, all the genius stuff he did. Nobody likes to lay pipe. Nobody likes to give exposition. It's boring. You know, well, you go here and I'll go there. Because in the history of the thing, this happened. But he did it so entertainingly and so like manically that it was an art. He turned exposition into an art form.
Bob Gale, you know, his writing just fit, it just worked. It was so easy, you know, to get into it. I know I had these long, rambling, pseudo-scientific speeches, but the way he wrote them, they made sense. You know, they seemed organic, and it made it work.
Was there anything from Back to the Future 2 specifically where you guys came to October 19th or 2015? And did you feel like any of the stuff that had come true that you guys predicted way back then? I mean, I bet on the Cubs to win the World Series last year because I didn't want to be the guy who didn't after the Back to the Future 2 told me to. And then it made us in the playoffs, and I thought I was going to win. I did not. But you guys know predicting stuff like that, to see some of it actually come true, do you feel like you might have had a hand in making some of that happen? Sense of peace?
I just know that the movie predicted my receding heroin. Marty McFly hadn't seen receding heroin in that.
They did predict the future. There's a bunch of people wearing those hats and that orange outfit. So they predicted the future, clearly.
Yeah, you know, the makeup that they put on you guys made you look a little bit older. I think I'm pretty spot on. What you guys end up looking like now. Still very beautiful, still feel like you guys in the 80s. Doesn't look like you guys in the 80s at all.
I don't talk like that, though. I don't go, Marty.
I'm just kidding. But what would you say was one of your more particular favorite moments from the series?
All deals.
My
People ask me that, and I have to dig for it, because there were a lot of great moments, but there wasn't any moment that just, you know,
So great Scott moment?
And little moments that just small things, like in the scope of the whole film, those big things happening. But scenes I remember with these two was with Chris. The whole thing with the car on the table was, please excuse the crudeness of this model. It was just so brilliant. I just felt like I didn't have to act like Marty McFly. I just was wrapped with what he was doing. It was mesmerizing. So good. And when we did the scene where I wake up in the bedroom, that was when I knew that we were doing it. That was about 2 weeks in, or 3 weeks in. And the movie was strange for me because we'd do a scene and we'd just do my coverage because there's another actor who played the role before I was hired. And so there'd be a lot of the scenes in the movie that are not me. But that was the first scene that really, we really got to do something. And again, I was so I think, blown away by how good you were and how earnest you were and how funny you were.
Yeah, there were so many great moments, and we spent a year and a half together. I mean, it was really a year and a half between all 3 movies. And so with, and then how much time in between the movies? Was it like
5 years?
Wasn't really that long.
Yeah, we did 84, 85. So we was in 85 and then we did in 89 and 90.
Whoa, so that was a long period to spend together. And I remember when we got together to watch Back to the Future 1 before we did Back to the Future 2. And it was so cool to just see what we had accomplished and then get to do more of that. It was just such a gift.
30 years later, still going strong.
I know, it's craziness. Look at these people. It's exciting.
What we're thinking about is that if people do genuinely share this movie with their family members, with their friends, and it goes on, and it's going to keep being shared until the end of time. Right over there. And all these fans, I'm sure, have some questions for people. So if you guys would like to ask some questions, please come on over. The microphone's here. Come over there already. Wow. I mean, you came equipped with the best in the hardcore.
Do you need to check the sports almanac?
Oh, she's got sports statistics.
Okay, hi, I'm Stella. I'm curious if you guys could travel back in time, what time would you travel back to?
Do you have a good answer for that? I'm a woman, so I'm happy to be right here. Right here. Saving on my end, man. I want to be right now. So that's my answer. So you guys then probably have other ones.
I kind of, I looked at Woody Allen once and he said, there was, we were having a conversation about time travel and he kind of came into it late and he said that he wouldn't want to be living any time before the nerds are kind of similar. I kind of feel like that too.
I go back again.
Back to bed.
Thank you so much.
Back to the furniture.
Hi, my name is Chad, and I think I speak for everybody when we say we'd love to see a part 4. Is there ever a chance of a part 4, or has there ever been a conversation behind closed doors of a part 4?
Not that I know. I mean, I did doing a musical in England. And they're pretty good at musical. Yeah, I will have to do it.
Chris is the only one who could be in it.
This should be in it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so. they haven't talked about it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do another Back to the Future. I don't know if they're looking for us. But, you know, my son, he lives in Brooklyn. He's a hipster. He's working on an app.
Back to the Future? That's how
I was just wondering if any of you have seen the show Rick and Morty, and if so, what did you think?
Rick and Morty. I've seen the show Rick and Morty. I haven't. I'm not a hipster. Is that a hipster show?
No. And at the end, can I give you all hugs?
I'm available for those.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Marty McFly is a 17-year-old high school student and whose best friend is a disgraced nuclear physicist. And they never explain that. So do any of you have some theories how they met?
It's like Batman and Robin. Don't ask.
I've never heard anybody refer to Doc as a disgraced.
Well accomplished.
That's so funny.
But, you know,
I always been afraid he was a teacher of his, and they just had interest beyond the classroom. Go back to the future.
Hi guys, I'm awestruck right now. You guys are amazing. I'm such a big fan. So, Back to the Future as a series got to play in a lot of different times, periods of time, and was really fun in all these different eras. Did you guys have one, period that you had the most fun being a part of, playing around in that, specific time?
I loved Back to the Future 3. It's always people love it was a Western. Who doesn't like a Western? Horseback riding and steam engine and Doc had a romance.
I always thought it was magic, and one of the great things about making a movie is when you get to, the courthouse square where they changed it all the time. It was always such a magical moment when we would, round that corner for rehearsal and see that they completely changed it. Or when I walked into the dance, the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, and it was all these people dressed up like the 50s. It was so amazing to me.
And my favorite was the 50s. I love that. I love the wardrobe, I love the baggy pants and the two-tone shoes. I love the Johnny Good stuff. You were so pretty dressed. Pink dress.
Yeah.
It's just like all taffeta and it's just all fuzzy and stuff.
You know what's weird is my daughter is working with that same costume designer right now. The same one, Deborah Scott, is designing her dress, which I think is so cool. She should be
Thank
here.
you.
I was wondering what you think made Back to the Future so successful as compared to some of the other sci-fi films.
Well, I think imagining yourself in another time in the past or another time in the future is kind of a universal sort of fantasy that everybody has. They wish that you could be the future somewhere you wish you could be in the past to see. So I think it appeals, certainly appeals to that kind of humor.
It was a perfectly crafted screenplay too. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the screenplay, it's perfectly, and everyone's fascinated with their parents and what their parents were like. I mean, that's how the story started in Bob Gale's mind. Apparently, he saw a picture of his dad in a yearbook and wondered what it would be like to meet him, you know, when he was that age. And the idea that we all start out with the same dreams, no matter how old we get. We were young and had dreams and wanted to pick up their own son and things like that.
I think also, the thing about the movie as a movie, as an entity unto itself, it was purely emotive. They weren't looking to do a franchise, they weren't looking to do anything. They just want to make this movie. They want to make it like any other movie or in the style of something else or something. They wanted to do another series of franchise movies. They just want to make this movie. And it was so pure, their intention and their effort, that they created something really special. And can't take on a life of something.
Thank you. Hi guys. I tried dressing like Marty, but I didn't have the orange red vest. I tried. So how has the success of the film had an impact on your lives?
It's totally changed my life. It was amazing. So I was doing a TV show, and he would go, say, you're on that TV show, right? I said, yeah. I said, oh, it's cool. And I back to like, what the heck? And it really does. You said it, to deal with the reality. But it was, I'm so proud of the part I played in that film, and I'm really aware of how many other people did amazing work to support, not to support, but to blanket my contribution in a lot of talent and a lot of effort. And so it was an amazing experience.
And also, which film do you prefer, Back to the Future 2 or Back to the Future 3?
Well, I like 2 a lot. I like 3 too, but everybody likes Once Upon a Time, and everybody likes to live happily ever after. They get sticky on the middle part. And that's what Back to the Future 2 is. It's the middle part. It's not meant to be digested alone. You take it with all 3, so it's kind of misunderstood. But I agree with Chris. I mean, seeing him in Back to the Future 3, it was amazing. It was so great.
When I read the part, I was just, this is the greatest part ever. I was so excited. And for some reasons, you know, sometimes things just click. And I remember having to audition for both the young and the middle-aged Lorraine, and really understanding both those characters. And, you know, and they were such polar opposites. And the idea of playing someone with so much hope and someone with no hope was just amazing to me. And I just remember, you know, thinking this is the greatest script and this is the greatest part. And so I still feel incredibly lucky to be mostly known for being in a great part. It could have been a terrible part that I'm known for, but this was great.
For me, I always tell the story, but I was doing a movie in Pasadena, a werewolf movie. I was sucking on lunch through the straw, and there was a goop on my face and yak hair. And I was there, and I heard that there was a location scouts on the block looking for locations for that new Steven Spielberg production. And I heard Chris McGlover was in it, and I knew Chris, so I was pissed about that. And I'm like sucking soup through a straw, and it stuck in my yak hair. And who talked to doing the werewolf movie? I should be doing that Spielberg thing. And little did I know that they'd already, at that point, they'd already approached Gary Goldberg, the producer of Family Ties, asked if I could do it. And he said he could let me go. So they decided I couldn't do it. And I was just happy, I had no idea. And then around Christmas, Gary called me to his office and gave me his envelope. He said, this is scripted, Bob's is doing it, Steven Spielberg is producing, and they want you to read it. And he told me the story of how he not let me go before, but he was willing to let me do both things at the same time if I wanted to do it. And he said, so take the script home and read it, and let me know what you want to do. And I took the script, I put it on his desk, I said, it's the best script I've ever read in my life. And within a week, I was in the parking lot of Point Hills with flames running through my legs.
What kind of really excited me about Doc Brown, I love stories about scientists like Einstein, etc., who are able to imagine in a realm that we can't even begin to enter, and come up with something like E equals MC squared, which explains so many things and changes science and the excitement of discovery. I just thought, which is what Doc is all about. I mean, he tries things that don't work. He invents an automatic gadget to feed dogs. Whatever, to invent a space-time travel. Just the excitement of having that kind of mentality to come up with solutions to things that most people find unfathomable, amaze me. Talking about somebody who's asking about impact, so many times, including today, people come up will say what an impact the Back to the Future trilogy had, and that they became physicists, or they became doctors, or they this and that, something that this film has changed people's lives. And they'll come on to say, this movie changed my life. And I just think that's one incredible thing to be a part of it, and in a positive way, not, in some kind of...
I think there was a lot of guitar players. I get that with a lot of guitar players. It's funny, because I'm such a crappy guitar player. But a lot of musicians, a couple big musicians have said to me that was, like Chris Martin says that was really turning point in his life.
Wow. Wow.
You wrote Chris Martin.
Yeah.
Chris Marty McFly.
Hi there. So my question is, I know you guys did iconic characters, but would there be one crack of any other character than your own that you had a one shot at any particular scene? Like, for example, Marty could have been Biff.
Wow. I wouldn't want to be Claudia's part. No, I'm happy with my part.
I want to be a spoon. Slow bean in the background.
Billy Zane, man.
That's it, it's going action. Who's J.J. Combs' action?
Oh, yeah.
Too big.
Yeah. Would you want to play a different part? Did you want to play my part? You were looking at that
Oh,
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things about the movie. It really was really well cast. I mean, sometimes things can go really awry. I mean, second time it was really well cast. But,
Really well cast.
but I mean, it's hard. Sometimes, things, everyone's part, they don't click. And this one seemed to click really well.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Fox, love the Curb Enthusiasm with Larry David. When you make jokes about the disabled, it's always an area where it's kind of touchy. You don't really want to go there, or how far you want to go. When you got the script, is that something that you said, you better tone it down a little bit, or did you give them encouragement to say, yeah, let's take it further?
Yeah, I think, because one thing that I noticed since I've kind of remember, he said, stop piano music in the background. And we were whispering in tones of, oh, has this and has that. tinkle, 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 tinkle. And I say, disabled people can be jerks, they can be human beings, they can be people you argue with, they can be people that you interact with every day. It's important to normalize, the aspects of their life that are unchanged. They have to take taxes, they have to go through life, go grocery shop, do whatever they have to do. And so to make them sane, to project some stuff on them, is not helpful. So I thought, it was a chance, Larry David was a chance to just play a guy who was a guy. It was me, normally, but it was, I had a chance to play a guy who argues with his neighbors and plays games with people and messes with their perception. And I thought it was a good opportunity. So I wasn't making fun of the disabled, I was making fun of the human condition, that we separate ourselves based on what we see and project on other people, things that they may not be feeling or thinking.
So my question is, did you ask them or say, hey, let's take it further? Or did you say, oh, you're going a little too far?
Oh, we just improvise. This show is improvised, so they have a basic thing like, okay, Larry's going to come up and complain about the noise. So I say, okay, I'll come up with an excuse for the noise. And you just start doing it, he's like amazing. And you just start arguing with him, it's coming up with stuff, and then next thing you know, they say, it's great, we got it. And 2 months later, I saw it on TV and said, well, that was funny. But then that doesn't go as far as you want to go. Pretty enthusiastic, no.
Hi, we've seen in Back to the Future 2 hoverboards. We saw self-lacing shoes. This question was kind of directed towards Michael. What are your thoughts on that? Just the fact that these things are now actually happening and exist today. What are your thoughts on the stuff that you guys saw years ago in the movie happening now?
Well, I can't say that I saw it in the Bob game with Bob's Michaels, who have the amazing brains to come up with stuff, make these leaps of probable progress. And I think they just, in a way, it's this self-fulfilling prophecy, because like with lace-up shoes, Nike said, let's make it real lace-up shoes like we pretended we made for the second movie. So, but they do, I actually have a pair of Nike lace-up shoes, and they're amazing.
Yep.
They come in handy for people with Parkinson's. Push your button.
Hi. Hello. I have a question. If any of you three have seen Doctor Who? Any other Doctor Who fans here? Do you think that the Doctor could be in the same time that Dr. Emmett Brown and Marty McFly would be in, and they could be?
Sounds like a good comic book.
I don't know if you're well. All I know is Doctor Who is every time I turn around, there's a different Doctor Who. Who's Doctor Who? But, sure, get those guys over to Bob's back to the Bob game.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sandra, and I just have to tell you how wonderful it is to see the three of you together and how special it is for us. What is it like for you guys to get together again? And have you been able to keep in touch as much as you'd like over the years?
Well, lately we've been seeing each other live. It's really nice. We've done a lot of different movies together.
The anniversaries that come up, they bring us together and do stuff together, which is really fun. But I think I'd like to stay in closer touch over the years, but whenever we see each other, the three of us, and extended cast beyond that, it's great. It's like, she looks 23 to me.
And then my second question is for Michael. I was probably about 15 and I wrote you a fan mail and sent you it. And I got it back and it was signed. And did you sign your own fan mail? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was wonderful to see you all.
Thank you.
How's it going? My name's Doug. Huge fan. So throughout all the movies, there's lots of stunts with riding skateboards and grabbing on the trucks, which I got in trouble for a lot. There's lots of trains and riding horses. Did you guys do all your own stunts? Some of your stunts? Were there any mishaps or any crazy stories of anything?
Go ahead, Chris.
I remember I had a sequence when I'm chasing the train. I'm galloping along. I actually did that, and which was pretty thrilling.
Because you
galloping
canyon
along.
on the train, right? Huh? In that canyon wall on the train, and you're galloping along there. The train on one side, train 5 feet on this side, and the granite wall on.
Yeah, when Doc's supposed to, he's galloping along, and he gets next to the train, and there's a handle there to pull himself onto the train, off the horse on the train. And I wasn't doing that moment. The stuntman did that moment.
Okay, wrong.
But I remember the tape was going on, and I caught up in the train, and I so wanted to. I pulled myself on the train, but it didn't work out. Could have been
For me, I did a lot of stuff, skateboarding and a lot of stunts. That's to the point where you could get killed, and even if I wanted to do it, insurance wouldn't let you do it. But the one particular kind of went awry. We were doing the hanging scene in Back to the Future 3, and I had this thing with Bob whenever I do a take, and I wasn't happy with it. I'd say, okay, forget that. Now you're going to see some acting. We'll do it. Let's do it again. And now you see some acting. And he wasn't convinced that I was being hung. It didn't look like I was being hung. So I said, okay, I'll put my hand in there, and I'll look my feet off the ground, and I'll actually hang for a little bit, see how it looks. I said, watch this, Bob, it'll be great. And I blocked my carotid artery, and I went out. And then I woke up, it seemed like 3 minutes later at the end of a rope. And that was the hairiest experience I had.
Great Scott.
Yeah.
I just had a lot of push-up bra stunts.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very frightening.
And the part 2 was Lorraine.
Yeah, the brain moves were very difficult.
What the hell? You made me get these.
These things!
Good boy, Wonder, I have a question.
Yes. I have 4 questions for Christopher Lloyd. If Raul Julia had lived, hadn't died playing that horrible Street Fighter movie, would there have been the proper third Addams Family movie?
I don't know that for sure, but certainly made it could. I don't know what to say to I don't know whether they were going to do another sequel to that or not. But I'm sure if Raul was around, he would.
Did you know there's going to be the real time machine invented by Ronald Mallet?
Is there a real time machine?
Yeah, it's going to be that very soon.
It's going to be there. That's how far ahead in the future goes. Time machine's already invented, but we don't know that.
And one more thing, do you like Nostalgia Critic?
Nostalgic critic? I don't know. We don't know any.
Oh, you met him. I mean, you met him. Remember, are you, like, I was frozen today?
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Awesome.
You saw his review for Blue Fight
Robin. Put the back page.
Hi guys, it's Chris. I actually went to the Target Michael J. Fox on.
It's retarded.
What was that?
It's retarded, I like the
So I actually have Parkinson's myself, as you can see, as I'm holding my phone. I just want to see how you deal with your struggles. I mean, eating soup is pointless. Taking pictures is pointless as well. You know, I'm trying to take a video here and it'll just be like,
My wife, like, take a picture, oh, forget it. It's, you know, it's just, I've had one time that I was diagnosed in 1991. So that was a long time ago. And I just live my life. It's things come up that are harder to do, or consistently more difficult to do, because it is a progressive disease. I just take note of it and find another way to get around it. And it's like, it's kind of corny, but a thing that I often say is, if you imagine the worst case scenario, you obsess about the worst case scenario, and it actually happens, you lose it twice. So I just try to take every day as it comes, and it's definitely difficult. You get caught up in the difficulties of it.
yeah.
But I try not to dwell there. I try to take care of that. First thing in the morning, I wake up and I'm a mess, and I walk by the mirror and I look at it and I say, "What the hell are you smiling about?" And then I keep smiling my day, for the rest of my day, and go through it.
Bless you.
With you guys. Thank you so much.